back to Glenarder and carrying on with double cropping. So it's late on June 1st, and I figured we would get some slurry on the field before we cultivate in the stubble. Not going to mulch it. Not even sure we have a mulch up, but going to cultivate in the stubble. And then in the morning, we will get some red beets planted, or beetroot as we call them, in the UK and probably most of the country. And then if you're from the Southern Hemisphere, we'll ship over some beef as well, and you can make yourself a weird frickin' burger, because, you know, beetroot in burgers, apparently it's a thing. Yeah, who knew? The other thing that I didn't know, that I know I have mentioned, but I'll mention again, this is something that apparently you can normally do. If you get a grain early, you can silage it, and then you can double crop with the root crops from the premium DLC, which is really cool. Lots of people love double cropping, and now we can fairly easily do it, it would seem. I'm a little bit nervous about how much red beet we are planting and how long it will take us to harvest it, and just how many burgers it will allow people to garnish. You know, the other half of this field, this was one field, we didn't even plant all of it with carrots because I was worried about having too many carrots, and now I'm planning to plant all of this with beetroot for essentially a cash crop. Pretty much everything we're growing this year is a cash crop, because come end of harvest, we will be selling up and shipping out and moving on to pastures new. And yeah, it should be fun. Going somewhere different. Don't know where yet. Keep saying, but yeah, somewhere different. We've still got the New Holland, which we're about to coat with slurry on demo. They're going to love us sending that fella back. Not sure how long they're going to let us keep it. Possibly the month. Haven't heard back from them yet to when they're going to want it back. But yeah. Possibly looking at some other demos as well of, you know, kind of future kit that New Holland might want to tempt us with, or other manufacturers, as we come up to August, where we will be doing a big refresh across the farm of the kit that we have. I had said, and I've been saying it all the way through, and we've got most of the original kit that we had, but I wasn't going to sell stuff, that I wanted to keep it as kind of a history of how the farm developed. What I'm thinking now is, so for example, we've got 2 8410s, we've got 3 7810s. I'm thinking that we might sell off one of the 8410s. I might sell one of the 7810s. So the reason we've got 3 is that when we were doing this, there was a lot more contracting work going on originally. We're going to get bringing that back very soon. And so I brought 2 big tractors and 2 medium-sized tractors for the contracting work, and then I brought myself a 7810. Keeping that 7810 because it's my tractor. Well, I'm thinking of selling one each of the other 2, and we'll replace them with something new. So that kind of maybe limits the insane growth of kit that we're going to end up with, and lets us refresh things. And it might sell both combines as well, because the 2 combines have got a lot of hours on them, and that's before we get through harvest season this year. Although with the running the forage contracts, we've actually got quite a lot of forage contracts. I might need to adjust the percentages for that, because it seems to throw up a lot on both maps that I'm using it on, more than I would like probably. So yeah, I need to give that a little bit of a tweak. But yeah, as I said, I'm not going to mulch this. We're just going to cultivate it in, and then in the morning get the red beets planted. We're going to have so much harvesting work to do. We've got this, I think it's barley that I put in around the carrots, which is going to be a whole crop. And yeah, we've got the new field that we brought. So much stuff, so much stuff. I'm not complaining. You know, it's going to be good when payout comes, and we've got corn to sell. The price for corn is actually picking up. So we're going to get the corn that we've got sold. And we've got soybeans to sell. Kind of like on the other side, soybeans, you know, you sell in summer for some reason. Don't know if that's a real thing or not. But yeah, hung on to them until summer, and we will get them sold very soon. We don't have quite the volume that we have on Saxthorpe. We only got about 20 grand's worth, but you know, it's all cash. It's all cash. And yeah, I want to have quite a lot in the bank when we get to moving. Yeah, we've got a lot of land here that we're going to sell. I'm probably going to sell most of the cows off. We might take a few with us. We might start fresh. Yeah, we might buy an established herd where we end up. So we'll see. We'll see what we want to do, which direction we want to go. It depends what the map's like. You know, it might be a map that's not so animal focused, and we do more arable farming for a few years. Kind of like, yeah, I started that one Saxthorpe and ended up with cows, but you know, we'll see how we get on. Let's be realistic. That's pretty unlikely for me. I'm bound to end up using animals on the map, but hey, we can go with some intent, can't we? And been chatting to Eagles, and he's pointed out a few more tractor mods that we can use next time or after August. So yeah, and one of them I actually looked at. A little bit of breaking suspension of reality, I guess. One of them I did look at as an alternative to this for the demo, but discounted. I think in the end, actually, because it fits in the date window for when we're going to be buying kit from after August, but it felt a bit too late, I think, for where we were at this point in the game. So yeah, I think that's why I didn't go for it. Just trying to remember. And yeah. We've had a little drop of mods, so it's Tuesday evening now, almost, and mostly prefabs, which is kind of weird. I don't know whether mods are failing more at the moment or what, but hey, it really doesn't bother me that much. I can live without mods every day. I do look most days just to see if anything interesting has released, but I really don't get that upset if new mods don't come out, you know. Don't actually add mods that often to the game. I downloaded a new mod to add to this save and then forgot to even bother activating it. So yeah, that's how much I care about adding new mods all the time. Getting through the cultivating, gonna basically run until we're done on this job. It's not that dark in game yet. I've got the lights on, but that's just because it makes it easier for you guys to see when I'm recording stuff rather than actually needing them in the game. It's a bit weird. I tend to find with recording that I need to put them on earlier than I would if I was just playing, which is just one of those things, I guess. I'm downstairs now with the 4 dogs, so if there's weird background noises, let's blame them, not me, okay? Mrs. D's gone to bed very early again. She's very, very fatigued with her chronic health problems, and so yeah, I'm downstairs with the dogs finishing up this video. Do any of you watch the Mighty Jingles? You might not, because he's very different to this kind of content, but he's a guy that I dip in and out of, and yeah, he announced last week kind of a nasty health scare, and yeah, that was a bit close to home after the last few weeks, and it doesn't sound like he's being treated quite as well as we were in terms of getting the tests that were needed fairly quickly, but hopefully he will. I watched a bit of his Mingles with the Jingles this week, where he did a bit of an update where things were not quite so clear as to what his health problems are, and doctors may have jumped to conclusions or may not. So yeah, kind of feel for the guy, kind of in a massive limbo at the moment. And if that's really cryptic and you don't know, then don't worry, it's all good. And it is getting quite dark quite quickly, and I guess that's kind of the way it works in most places. As you get into kind of late spring, early summer, that suddenly it will get dark pretty quick. It's actually quite nice these days that got to the point where it's light relatively early in the morning, and it's just light when I want to go out running. Although I haven't been running since Sunday because I've been kind of a bit off colour, shall we say. Picked up a bit of a bug over the weekend, and yeah, not had the energy or inclination yet. Had the mental desire, but my body is not willing to support exercise at the moment, so yeah, having to be sensible. And it's been kind of draining, actually. So, yeah. That combined with repeated trips into work and pretty long days in work have been quite tiring. Let's just say that. Yeah. a very weird experience at work actually over the last few weeks. We've been looking to recruit people, and I've been having to interview them, and that's the first time I've ever had to do that in my 20 odd years of working. I've never had to interview people, and it's kind of a weird experience. It's been quite interesting, quite eye-opening about, people send you a CV and you read it and you kind of form an opinion about them, and then you talk to them and that opinion seems to go out the window, is my experience so far. Anyway, loading up the milk trailer. The farm dairy is empty. There's a bunch of cheese there which is maturing, shall we say, which I need to get sold at some point. There's a little bit of wool to sell as well, but yeah, I want to go top that up and then we'll sell the excess, because it makes sense. And actually filling the trailer took most of the milk out of the 2 storage tanks, let's say. Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with storage tanks. Yeah, so I think I use, as I drive past, usually I do a quick check on the sheep to see if, there we go, yep, quick check. So there's 3 and a bit pallets, and the milk trailer was a little heavy for the 7810. I should have used one of the bigger tractors, and I do need to do a bunch of slurry selling as well, and probably manure selling. One of the calf pens is stacked full of manure, which is probably a bit of a health and safety, animal welfare issue, but they're okay. They're okay. They don't mind sleeping in piles of manure. It's okay. They're happy. One thing that is weird, and I'm assuming it is because we don't have that many sheep. I've not fed them since I put them in. We've got grazing set up, and I'm assuming that it's grazing that's doing the job, and we've got it kind of well balanced, and grazing is providing them with enough food, but I'm not entirely sure. And this is me just checking the price for cheese, and it looks like we could get a bit more, so we are going to let it mature a little bit more. And who doesn't like a nice mature cheddar cheese? So that's what we're going to go for. And then just getting a little bit of cash in the bank from selling the leftover milk, and we'll sell the cheese when the price is slightly better. Then we are going to get on to planting the beetroot. I nearly said red beet, but they're beetroot. So we're going to use the same rig as we used before. So we're using the smaller one, the 3 meter one, with the 3 points, so we can do it in a single pass. With the demo tractor we've got, we could have maybe run the bigger kit, but we'd have had to do 2 passes, and 2 passes at 6 meters is the same amount of work as 1 pass at 3 meters, sort of. Using this rig is a bit more complicated to get it looking nice with a few more button presses, but it was fine. I have to admit, actually, I had to stop partway through the field because there was a risk that I was just going to go and stack the tractor in the hedge half asleep. So thankfully the hedges have collisions, so we wouldn't have got the problem that we could have had on Maypole, where we could have gone straight through the hedge and gone into our other fields or another farmer's fields. But there was definitely the possibility that we could have stacked it in the hedge. I guess Ginger Warrior style, Pemberton Senior. I'm not sure of the best way to refer to him, but spoke about that in a recent video. One of the few that I've watched of Tom's. So, yep. And we're going to drop this down. No, I'm just opening the seat covers. There we go. And we can jump in the Merlot, grab the big bag lifter, because you should use a big bag lifter when you're lifting big bags. Health and safety and all that. And get some seed in the seeder, because that's where you put seed, isn't it? Can you tell I'm tired? I'm pondering, actually, because you guys know I like to ponder. It may not happen. It depends if I get enough videos done. I might drop down to just the 1 video a day. I know, kind of weird. What kind of creator only does 1 video a day? I've kind of cut back a little bit, but I might need to cut back a bit more for the next few weeks. So I think it's probably better to have 1 video every day than 2 videos on 1 day and then no video the next day. And they're different audiences, so maybe it doesn't matter. I know most watch one or the other, it would seem. I should actually do the poll on YouTube. That would be interesting. I did it on the Patreon page, and most were Farm Sim, which kind of makes sense. It would be interesting to do it on YouTube now, because old subscriptions have jumped up a fair bit, and the Timbercorn videos get a lot more views, so I'm kind of wondering how the split is. I might have to do that poll. You might have already seen that poll by the time we get there. Because in theory, I'm finishing this video up the day before I release it, so I may do the poll this evening. Yeah. I'm going to say thank you to patrons and YouTube channel members. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel. The patrons will hopefully have been doing some work on here for me. There are a whole load of baling contracts, and kind of hoping that the guys will jump on and do a few of those, because they are awesome like that. And they are the 2 or 3, 4 guys that get on and do that are like a well-oiled machine. For you might have seen Eagles and Marnux on some of Cartech stuff, and how well they can get through doing some baling. And yeah, those 3, and maybe occasionally Bill gets on, maybe some others, got some new guys on Patreon as well, and yeah, they can churn through some baling contracts pretty swiftly. There is the slight complication that some Egypt has left bales on both of the big bale trailers, so that's a little bit of a challenge, but maybe we can lease a couple more bale trailers. And actually, one of the big things that's coming in August is bale stackers, because yeah, I think it's that time. So yeah, we'll have available the Arcusin and Anderson bale stackers to get some stuff done. I've completely lost my train of thought there, thanks to one of the greyhounds having to get up and make a drink, and the noise those things make when they get a drink is ridiculous, which is why I had to stop. Yeah, I don't know whether it's something. Just, yeah, the noise is just ridiculous. Every noise that those things make is stupidly exaggerated and not something you guys want to hear. If you're not, greyhounds have this whole kind of meme culture around them that's quite funny. But if you don't have a greyhound, it's probably less funny, because it doesn't make sense until you experience them doing it in real life. And then you realize, yeah, they do that, and yeah, it's disgusting or grim or sounds funny or whatever. Anyway, back to the stuff on the screen, I guess. Red beets going in, beetroot, burger garnish, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, I think I said at the start, I'm somewhat nervous about harvesting this field. We do have the KS6B. We can get a beetroot header for it, so it won't be too awful. And a bit like some of the other stuff, I'm not planting the headlands with other crops, but I am going to leave a headland at each end of the field, so they've got a bit of room to turn around when we're planting. More importantly, a bit of room when we're harvesting, although probably not enough room, because that thing turns like a freaking oil tanker. I'm also testing out. I got, if you've been watching lately, you will have heard me say I've been having lots of issues with OBS crashing and not realizing, particularly when I'm recording on my laptop. And I finally I used to use an app called OBS Blade. I actually got it to work again. It stopped working for a while. Got it working again, and that's cool, because what that does is let me use my phone as a monitor to see if OBS is still running and recording. So hopefully I will miss less things without me having to spend a reasonable chunk of money on a portable monitor again. And honestly, it's less useful when I'm sat downstairs, because usually I'm recording gameplay with Mrs. D around, and just having my phone next to me monitoring the recording is perfect for that. Oh, it's a fine morning in Glenalden. Look at that sky. It looks good. So we're pretty much done. Well, the video is pretty much done. I'm going to jump in a minute to being pretty much done. And yeah, I think our grass field needs cutting on here. So that's probably the next job that I'll be doing. But yeah, hopefully between videos, you might see a massive stack of bales up here. Maybe down on the pad near the dairy. they might just get sold straight away for cash because we really don't need that many. Yeah. Or nothing may happen because the guys may be busy doing other stuff. There is no obligation for them to come on and help me. They do it because they enjoy it or they want to or whatever. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you did enjoy this video. Apologies for the slightly disjointed commentary. Comments, questions, suggestions, stick them below. Tractors from between 2000 and 2010 or other equipment on ModHub or decent mod sites, then let me know because I am interested in starting to collect updated mods as well. And I will see you next time, probably for silage making. I know, very different. See ya. Look at that camera work.